Human-Centered Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And please join me in saying hello to Gary of Twin Tarot and David of Tarot by the Bay.
Also of Twin Tarot.
Yes,
that's true.
Twin Tarot. Yes. And welcome to Taco Tuesdays. Wow. Happy July 1st. Happy Canada Day to those of you that are watching from Canada. And wow. The news just never gets boring, does it?
It gets monotonous.
Yes.
I'm willing to give up the channel for boring news where the world seems to be under control and I don't have to do this.
Yes.
that would be that would be nice. It would be wonderful to have just a week or two you have to go hunting for something to talk about rather than
that actually, believe it or not, that actually happens, but it's because like the level of awfulness hasn't changed. It's like, okay, they're still debating this awful budget and Trump is still, threatening tariffs, but it's like, okay, well, there's nothing new. I mean, all I'm doing is re-slinging old hash.
Exactly.
And I don't like that. I don't like it where that becomes normal.
Yes, absolutely. So hello to everyone that has joined us. We've got 105 here right now. So I say hello. We all do. We say hello to each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, not only to my channel, but also to Gary and David's channels. So you'll find their links in the description of the video below. So there you go. And yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Sandy. That is very, very kind of you. Very generous. And I hope that it is returned to you 1,000-fold.
It's a drinking game. Every time money Gary has to drink. And he's drinking water. That's not even beer.
Do the beer dance.
That's not beer. If that's alcoholic, that's Zima that you're drinking there. That's not beer.
It is only water.
Aww.
I know. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll have a frosty cold one after.
I'm so glad that Gary was able to join us because we thought for a day or so that he wasn't going to be able to join us. But here he is. So
keep through.
Thank you for being here. Yeah, wonderful to have everybody here. So, what's happening on Twin Tarot with David and Gary? Anything interesting?
And not David, I think last night.
well, Rose Blue is guessing what our next video is coming up with. Apparently, she's got some sort of insight onto what we're up to.
Oh, lovely, Rose Blue.
What did she guess?
She was asked. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, be charged with war crimes against humanity by the ICC.
Is that the one going up tonight?
Yeah, that's the one that's coming up.
Okay. We did three on Sunday or something like that.
Yeah, that was the third one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you'll have to tune in. We're not going to cover it, but you'll have to tune in to see what the boys have to say about that.
That's right.
So,
I expect you to be first on the comments there, Rose Blue.
Yes.
Maybe, if she sends an email to the Twin Tarot thing, you can set the video to private and you can send her a link and then she can watch it in advance.
Ooh, I probably could.
Just saying.
Rose Blue.
Hey, Gary, that'd be a great membership perk. We'll put up the video for the members 3 hours earlier so the folks on the East Coast don't have to wait till 3 a.m. for it to drop. Insomniacs can get it at midnight.
Absolutely.
I don't know how that's going to work for like Alf Carlson and Lily Balder's Place. The folks in Europe aren't going to be too happy with that. I can watch the video at 4 a.m. instead of.
Yes,
they might be up. Well, they don't have to be members.
Yeah.
Anyways,
always look on the bright side, right? On the bright side of life. So I thought that as it's Canada Day, that we would start off by taking a look at, did Mark Carney cave to Donald Trump? Now, it's been reported because he was they were talking about that the digital, hold on, what's it called? Oh, I had it here for a second and then I lost it. It was a tax on digital
Digital digits.
Digital digits, yeah.
Yes, sorry, digital
Oh,
digits.
here we go. It's right up on top of my card. Digital services tax that was going to be applied to a lot of the tech companies that did business up here and so on. So anyway, the current administration is discussing it as if this was something new that was just presented, when in actual fact, it was something that was discussed and it was put into law last year. So this was just Carney reminding the U.S. that this is something that that was supposed to take effect. Trump threw a hissy fit and said, well, I'm not going to, I'm suspending all trade talks with Canada. And then, of course, Carolyn Levitt got in there.
Oh, Lord.
And she said, it's very simple. Prime Minister Carney in Canada caved to President Trump in the United States. And that Trump knows how to negotiate. And he is governing the best country and economy in the world on this planet. And every country needs to have good relationships with the U.S.
Okay. It's a very interesting approach to building good relationships with all the various countries on the planet.
Yes.
Being the schoolyard bully.
Yes. Yes, Kristen Chaff. Yeah, in the universe. I mean, he's just the best all over the place. Well, I see this as a tactical move on behalf of Carney, and it's just something that is part of the negotiation that is going to happen with the current trade talks. Let's put it that way. So it's part of a bigger negotiation. And this particular tax was never very popular with the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, and as well as several businesses. So I guess my question that we can start off with is, was this a tactical move on Carney's part?
So just to sum up, what did Carney say? Did he just say, "Oh, this is something that they instituted, that they agreed to last year, and now we're implementing it," or is he pausing that?
He is pausing that. I think that he announced initially that this was something that was going to happen, and it was going to come in effect on July 1st, which the date. And then over the weekend, he said, "No, we're pausing it."
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, my screen is frozen again. Let me refresh to see if it does that. Otherwise, I'll have to jump off and jump back on.
Okay.
Quick, change the link.
Yes. And thank you, Rose Blue. Thank you very much.
Blue. Is there a Noble effing moron prize? There will be soon.
Yes.
Okay, so Marina, this is what I've got. So the foundation was, I got lots of pentacles on this. The foundation of this is, was Carney caving, or was he being strategic and tactical? So the Queen of Pentacles. Basically, Carney's taking care of the people in Canada. He's being very nurturing. He's also taking care of himself. This was I'm convinced that this was completely a political movement. Hey, David.
Yes.
He's looking out the future. He's looking what's coming ahead. He knows that the way to Trump's heart is through his wallet. And he's got other things that he wants that are more important to him than this little digital tax. Yeah. And what he's doing is he's basically like Trump eating out of his hand. He's doing this from a position of strength. So there's nothing I'm feeling that Carney caved at all. That he's playing as we like to say, he's the one playing the 4D chess, and Trump's the one playing checkers and eating paste.
Exactly.
Oh no, you took my pawn, Donald. Oh dear, you're such a great chess player.
Yes, exactly.
As the queen stares down the throat of the unprotected king.
Yes, and yeah, I think you're you're right. Okay, I start off with the sun is Carney is basically he's shining a light on the things that Trump doesn't want light shone on. Let's put it that way. The five of Pentacles. Yeah, Trump is worried about being kind of left out, and his feelings have been really hurt by recent events around the world. So he's he's a little sensitive to people not doing things his way or capitulating to him. Carney knows what he's doing with the Hermit. He's planning strategic steps forward on what he's going to do. Trump is simply reacting, right? Which is what he does most of the time. And Trump is being really quiet about this. He's letting Carolyn speak for him, but he certainly isn't saying a whole lot. And Carney is actually quite happy with the fact that he's not saying a whole lot. So, I think it definitely was a strategic move, and kind of put a shiny object in front of Trump and dangle it and watch him do his dance. What do you get, David?
I got the 8 of coins as the foundational part of the card. This is just keeping the talks about money going forward. And underneath I have the Hanged Man. It's just like, sometimes with this guy, you just have to do things to appease him. It's part of doing business. Central underneath is the 3 of coins. It keeps talks going on in the background.
Yes.
I got the 3 of swords and the 7 of wands. 3 of swords. Trump shouldn't have say over Canadian policy. But again, when you're dealing with this guy, you got to give him some victories in there, or else he'll cancel the whole deal because he didn't get free car mats in with his $100,000 luxury car. But he does it because he knows that's a non-issue in the fight of what he's negotiating. You want us to pause this tax? Fine. And as you were saying, Marina, if it's not a popular tax, then it dovetails with Gary. Oh, you took my pawn. How could you? How could I leave such a thing unguarded?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you, Acadian Proud. That is very, very generous of you and much appreciated. And hello, Kevin's Loving Vibrations. Nice to have you join us. Yes, it's political gamemanship, right? And with one guy knowing the outcome that he wants, and he's playing towards the outcome he wants, and the other guy's just looking around for like, okay,
eating paste.
Where can I get? Yeah, eating
Hey, Gary, remember that clip I showed you on TikTok of the Klingon commander? talking with the Packlids. You must beam aboard my ship to explain why you're afraid to beam aboard my ship. That you're a good negotiator.
Yeah.
Trump is Packlid.
Yes,
Galron.
exactly.
Galron.
And I was.
Galron.
It's funny. I was reading earlier today that I think it's Denmark, that has announced that they are to kind of beef up their military, that they're going to have conscription, and it's going to be for both males and females now that are 18 years old, and it's going to require them to put in 11 months worth of service, rather than the previous, which was basically for the male population, and it required 4 months. And I was reminded that during the NATO get together, how many of the leaders that were there were saying, "Oh, thank you, Donald, for getting us to this point and making us realize that, we have to do our fair share, and, we have to get in there and whatnot." It was so blatantly slapping him in the face.
Patronizing.
Yes.
Condescending, sarcastic.
Yes. Exactly. All that, and yet it's kind of delivered as a, see, you should feel good about yourself. And I'm sure that Trump walked out of there feeling like, yeah, that's what I said.
I am Packlid.
Yeah. Not
I
realizing
the ranch had it on today. I heard it. I went. If you see me doing weird things to my mouth, I just had my teeth cleaned and they're kind of sore all over. Just in case he's acting chewing my tongue or something like that. I think I was listening to Belle of the Ranch on my drive over, and she was talking about this agreement that NATO countries went about the 5% GDP. She said the devil's in the details, because the 5% isn't just military defense. It's like 3.5% military defense and 1.5% any type of securing the nation type thing, which could be anywhere from solar panels to
infrastructure improvements,
software to prevent viruses from getting in, firewall, anything to protect the security of your nation. And the 3.5% doesn't need to be fully implemented for like another 4 or 5 years. So it gives time for Trump to be out of office and then a Democratic president coming in. And there's like a period of time, like in 2030, they get to reevaluate this whole 5% thing. So yeah, on paper and headlines, it looks great. But in actuality, they don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And this, I wish I could remember but it was, I think it was like Denmark and Sweden and Norway had already agreed to do that and put their people through training. They're considering that they might need to protect Europe, and yeah, they're going in there and they're training their people given the political climate, which makes absolute total sense. So
at least with Ukraine, like the situation in Ukraine has bogged down the Russian military tremendously, and the loss of military equipment and both tanks and armored vehicles and aircraft and such. I don't know how Russia could invade any other countries other than sending a mass of like 500,000 people with explosives strapped to them and just run them into the city, blowing crap up, because I don't see how they can do it. Now that being said, and if you beef up your militaries and you do that, it's a huge deterrent.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. sorry, I just wanted to take a look at the comment here by David S. Let me put it up. Do the three of you know about the Japanese woman manga comic artist who had a dream that the earthquake and a volcanic eruption will happen in the Pacific that will destroy Japan, Taiwan, and Philippines?
Haven't heard it.
Nope.
No, sorry.
Not feeling it, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. It just means they're not feeling it. I think there are some super volcanoes there, which could happen, but it probably won't happen in our lifetime or our kids' lifetime or our grandchildren's lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like the super volcano in Yellowstone.
Yes.
It could probably wipe out all of Western United States. Yeah, it could, but probably we won't be so fortunate that it happens in our lifetime.
Yes.
Yeah, I would think that it's a tsunami that's really the devastating.
That was my thought too.
Yeah.
Okay, it's supposed to be a huge tsunami. Yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah, totally. And Mary said, "Will Musk ever spill all the beans on Trump?" And that actually goes along with one of the questions that I had, which was, of course, Musk and Trump. The girls are fighting again. Like, meow. And yeah, Musk has publicly said more than once that this big, beautiful bill is not good for America, that, he's thinking about starting another party, really. And yeah, Trump wants to deport Musk, and Doge never did anything good, and we're going to cancel all his contracts and so on. The kind of BS that's going back and forth is really quite laughable, because let's put it this way. Elon knows that he bought the election for Trump. So he could very easily say, okay, all right, I want my money back. I want my money back. And if you don't give me my money back, I'm going to start singing like a canary. So is that something that that Elon Musk would do? What does he care if Trump takes away his citizenship? Oh God, it's where in the world
I can live anywhere else in the world I want to.
Yes.
I choose Texas.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, will Musk will he start to spill the beans? Because I think all he has to do is start fanning the fires and putting out little bits of information, and watch how quickly Donald says, "Oh, my best friend." Yeah. The male love of my life.
Well, Libby did a reading on that one today. She had threw out cards. Then she's got these little yes/no cards and some blank cards in there, and she was struggling trying to get an answer to that question.
Yes. Yeah.
Or more framing. The best thing I come up with is, from a logical mind, Gary will follow me with this one, because we do tend to think alike. Musk won't reveal anything unless he's covered his own tracks to show that anything he reveals can't be traced back to him.
Yes.
So he will never reveal everything that went on, because it's a useful tool that he will want to use again in the future for anything that he wants to do.
Yes.
Because that's kind of who he is. So how do you get rid of Trump without losing a useful tool that will help you peddle influence in the future when you want to pursue that route? That's kind of the gist of it. Or at least that's where I see things going. And now, what would Elon use to bring Trump's downfall? And it wouldn't even be him. What pawn?
Yes.
Would he use to, or proxy he would use to bring Trump down? It's a tough question.
It is. And
So I'm getting more Elon's feelings on this than
His
I've got the Hierophant. Basically, hey, I got you into that job. You know, I fought all sorts of battles and took all sorts of risks for you to get you there.
yes.
Defending the high ground. You know, defending all the attacks that I had to defend, taking action.
Sorry, Garth, when you had the 7 of Wands and the 9 of Wands, that's Trump out there getting shot in the ear saying, fight, fight, fight.
Yes.
Oh, can you imagine if Elon exposed that was a setup, that wasn't real blood?
Uh-huh.
Maybe.
That would be a god.
Okay, but now you're tossing me under the bus. Dun dun dun. Toss him under the bus.
Yes.
So it's really the fortune, the wheel of fortune is spinning. If he's got goods, he may be willing to share it.
Uh-huh.
He hasn't decided to do it yet.
Yep. No, he is right now. I get the Knight of Wands. He is with these arguments. He is kind of setting Trump up to almost expose himself in ways, and it's causing Trump a good deal of worry. You know, what is he going to say? What is he going to reveal? It's emotional for Trump because Musk is living in his head rent free. So it is concerning him. I also got the Judgment card. So whatever he's fearing that Musk is going to reveal, it would bring an awful lot of judgment upon Trump. Now, he could reveal that the unaliving attempt was fake. He could also release some of the information that I'm sure he has regarding Trump and Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
I don't doubt for a second, and of course, entertainment purposes only, that when he had access through Doge, that he was able to pick up a lot of this information regarding Epstein and so on. So what if he was to release some Polaroid pictures? And like you say, David, it may not be Musk who would do that, but it's just these things would just come out. Someone would come out with these things. And that would absolutely scare Trump. Because how do you can say it's fake news and all that, but here's pictures. So it could be interesting, but it feels like Elon is, well, he's a little smarter than Trump is. Trump is very reactive. At least Musk can kind of think through an idea and maybe plan for it. So he could very easily start to at least clear his throat to start humming the tune. Yeah. So, alrighty. And
Dave, you look like you're really contemplating.
It's one of two things that got going on. Low energy foundation would be, look at me, look at me, look at me. This is Elon trying to get the attention back. And underneath it, I've got Elon again sitting there looking all smug. Because it's like, I've got more money than you. I've got more than everything than you. And when Marina was saying living rent free in the head, I'm touching on the nose. That's kind of what I got with this card. Is like, I'm living rent-free in your head because I can threaten to bring you down with the information I have involving money or something along those lines. It's like he's sitting on information that he knows that Trump knows that Elon knows this. The other part is, you could read this. This could be about the election victory, and if you follow the money, you'll find where the influence happened that would actually bring down, say, the security of the election. And again, Elon has that information, and maybe that information gets passed along to somebody so that the victory is called into question. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of a pissing contest between the two. It really is.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I haven't used the term in a while because Elon's been out of the news, but Elon's like Trump 2.0. He just, he's had more money, he's had more kids, I think he's had more wives, and more successes in business. He's just everything Donald Trump isn't, but he's still like Donald Trump in so many ways.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. One of the other things that I thought we could take a look at is I got the distinct impression when I did my members week ahead video that over the next couple weeks that there might be a false flag incident happening in the US. And that would serve not only as a distraction, but it would also further Trump's idea of, deporting all these horrible, horrible people. So now in Iran's reactions so far have been fairly tempered. Okay, what are you picking up in terms of if there was a false flag incident? Would they blame it on Iran? Would they blame it on Ukraine? And would people be wise enough to realize that that's what it is? It's a false flag. It's not real.
Can this regime even pull off a false flag? They're pretty Keystone Cops, all things considered.
Yes. Yep.
Let's take a look.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Who wants to go first? You guys are looking at your cards very, very intently.
I've got very interesting cards. I just don't know.
Page of Wands as the foundation of the reading, talking about actions being taken. Underneath it, I've got the Hanged Man. So taking a look at something or throwing somebody under the bus. I think there's discussions. So if they do a false flag, it's not going to be an actual event. It's going to be about like they're going to say like they intercepted a communique or something. They're going to make accusations. I got the nine of swords underneath it. It would cause anxiety, and I've got the 6 of cups and the 4 of wands. So it would be like somebody comes into the country, and either somebody comes into the country and they accuse this person of doing something, but there's really no evidence of it. They might even try and plant something on him,
Yes.
but it would be like, it would be so flimsy. It would be like saying that Abrego Garcia, Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a human smuggler and a trafficker, and there's no evidence to support it other than the testimony of some 3-time felon who's working with the government who happened to be a drug smuggler and a human trafficker. For all you know, he's confessing about his own crimes. So
Yes.
it's going to be something superficial and we'll get more information in 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks never happens.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see anything there. It's not, or maybe they're talking about it, but they can't. The dinosaurs, they can't figure out the logistics of how to make it to generate people's sympathy for that, and then make it stick.
Yeah. And Amber said the 22-year-old gardener stops the attack.
Yeah.
The guy, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I keep forgetting that happened, that Trump reported some 22-year-old guy whose his career has been working, not to slam gardeners, but
No.
Does that make you like a cybersecurity expert on terrorism? Sure. Just like Jared Kushner could negotiate peace in the Middle East.
Which is surprising given what's going on. I thought he handled it all. I thought it was all good.
Clearly, Biden screwed it all up.
Screwed it up. You're right. And what'd you get, Gary?
I've got very interesting cars, but I don't know what to do with them.
I have a suggestion.
So the foundation. I was thinking, is there going to be a false flag operation? This is what I got. Foundation is the 5 of Cups, being very sorrow, unhappiness with what's in front of us because of a betrayal, heartbreak and betrayal.
Oh, wow.
The other clarifiers. Someone is protecting their standard of living or their lifestyle. There was a rush to action that was probably unwarranted or ill-advised, and it has something to do with the government rushing to action that didn't make any sense. And I'm just going to throw some clarifiers. What else do I need to know? It's going to be the end of a cycle. It's going to be win at all costs, and we don't know how it's going to actually end up being. Is there going to be a false flag? There's something big coming.
Yes.
I was looking at this. Is this just the next phase of the Trump Elon Musk feud? I don't know. I guess when it happens, these cars will make perfect sense to everybody out there, right?
Yeah.
They're fascinating cars. I don't know what it means.
Yeah. So I start off with the Hangman. Seeing things from a different perspective, or looking at things in a different way, and that's crossed by the Magician. So trying to make something happen that like you said, David, they're not exactly sure how. They know that they want to create something, they're just not exactly sure how to put all the pieces together. I think that they're the worry for right now is the 5 of Pentacles, not getting it right. They're in it for they're in it for the money. The 10 of Pentacles. They are they want to be able to create something, but they're worried that it's going to fail. So maybe that's a discussion in terms of looking at things from a different perspective. But I also get the Queen of Swords, that the truth is going to come out in terms of what it is that they want. And I get the King of Cups. And for the longest time, the King of Cups,
Hmm.
I've tried to identify who the King of Cups is, and it's like shifting sands, right?
Libby had that was another one Libby talked about on the video I watched today that she said she had an epiphany the other night. The King of Cups represents the American people and their desires. So if that fits, you can run that one and see how that fits in there. But yeah, we've been getting the King of Cups for a couple of weeks now and trying to figure out what the heck that is.
Yeah.
Just
Who is it?
Yeah.
now,
Please.
now I want to throw something out for Garv here. Bruno Malley at 639 put out a little thing. A cyber ninja could do in our drinking water supply or antiquated electrical grid. Now, we do know that there is software that was like a time bomb in the electrical grid. So,
Yes.
I was talking about trying to come up with an event or something along those lines. Yeah, it's like, if they could try and shut down an electrical grid or a water supply and then blame whoever they want to blame for that. And that would dovetail in with Marina's saying, is like they want to do it, but they can't figure out the best way to do it without totally freaking things up.
Yes.
With your 5 of Cups, that could be water supply since cups are water.
Yes.
And then, this could be one of the things that they do that. And then with my 9 of Swords, but then they F it up so bad that it blows up in their face. Yeah, and they can't fix it quickly. So now there's things happening, and then stories start coming out that it wasn't an Iranian or North Korean software attack. It was some Trump official going in there and spilling a Pepsi on the control panel on 3 Mile Island.
Yeah. Why do I see Homer Simpson?
Yeah. Donuts.
Exactly. Oh gosh. Well, you guys are.
My gut feeling is it's something to do with ice. That's just kind of what I keep coming back to that, but we'll see. We'll see.
That could be. That could absolutely
Someone
be.
mentioned in the comments, are they tripling the ICE budget in this big, beautiful budget thing?
I know they're giving more money for Homeland Security to finance the deportation of people, but I don't know what the original amount was versus the new amount. It wouldn't surprise me. They wouldn't have had the money for it the first time around.
Yeah, exactly.
Blue seems to say yes on that one. I'm assuming yes is to your question.
Yeah.
Your non-rhetorical question.
Yeah, there's apparently with okay, and this kind of goes along with my next question here is Trump visited Alligator Alcatraz. And of course, Kristi Noem was right there with him. And he was going on and on about how this is going to be fabulous and how quickly they're going to be able to deport people and so on, and that it would be difficult to escape from this detention center because it's surrounded by alligators, crocodiles, and pythons. And one of the things that was said about that was that it would cost about $450 million a year to run. And so far, the funding for this building that they have put up, which apparently can house 3,000 immigrants, migrants, whatever, and that the funding came from FEMA. That they took funding from FEMA, so could be interesting, and yeah, maybe they are going to increase, or they're going to find money somewhere to be able to to do what they're doing.
Exactly, they're going to take funds from other departments,
yes,
to fund what Trump wants to do with Homeland Security and the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Group.
Yes. Yeah. And Trump said at this Alligator Alcatraz that they will house the menacing migrants, some of the most vicious people on the planet. I haven't heard of one single immigrant who's doing time in jail that they currently have in jail for something as atrocious as murder or whatever, that they have been deported. All that we've been hearing about is just regular citizens walking down the road to go pick up, a loaf of bread and a jug of milk. They're the ones that are being, deported. So who are these vicious people that he's trying to get rid of?
Yep.
Now, Christy Nome said with this Alligator Alcatraz, and I found the wording of what she said really, really interesting.
Oh no, were they being specific? So she's not lying. Can't wait to hear this.
Yeah. She said they can have their hearings to get due process and then immediately be flown back to their home countries. So, yeah, they can have their hearings so that it looks like we're giving them due process, and then immediately will be shipped off. So are they really getting due process, or is it just a let's make it look good for the cameras?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fallon's basically saying what I'm thinking, which is, if they're making the ICE budget, I guess someone was mentioning it used to be $5 billion and now it's $50 billion. I saw that it was like $50 billion in the budget. And now they've got this Alligator Auschwitz. It's like we've got our Gestapo and we've got our concentration camps.
Yes, exactly.
Here we go, and we've got the people that we can punch down on and blame all of our problems on.
Yeah, totally.
But MAGA, they don't see that. They see that this is making America great. Idiots.
Yeah, a lot of them do. There's some of them are starting to see the light, and this. I've heard from several Republicans who in the House who have said that this bill that the big beautiful budget bill that they're getting, that they're not happy with it.
They'll still vote for it.
The majority of them, absolutely will. They'll go through the process. I'm hoping that there is enough of them that are going to grow spine. Is that too much? Am I being too optimistic?
I don't think we're there yet.
Yes, yeah. I'm hoping that what's her name? Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins. Please, somebody out there, please send those ladies strands of pearls so that they have something to clutch when they say, "Oh, this is, I'm worried. I'm worried about this." Before they go ahead and vote for it. But yeah, so okay, so where's the question in all that? I don't know. I don't. Will they said that this Alligator Alcatraz, that they could start sending that the people could start being put in there as early as Wednesday, which is tomorrow. Is that actually going to happen?
How long have they been building this? Trump's only been in office since January. There's no way you could, unless they're using like cargo containers as a jail or a prison.
I think it's probably a bunch of giant warehouses with dog kennel cages inside there.
Yes, yeah, cages inside. Yeah. So it's not like your traditional, you know, prison detention facility.
I guess if it's a concentration camp,
Yeah.
oh, they're tents. Oh boy, because that's going to be great.
Yeah. Old FEMA trailers. Yeah, it could be that too. I heard that apparently where the people are going to be housed, it's air conditioned. I want to wait until someone was there and have them say whether it is. Yeah. Building incinerators. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of information out there, you guys. A lot of stories that we're all going to hear about crazy things. Make sure that you do your research. Make sure that you're not reacting to things that are coming in based on just face value, right? Figure it out. Do your look at the sources of where that information is coming from, and then try to discern why are they sharing that information with you? What is it that they want you to believe, and what's in it for them? Yeah. So yeah, absolutely research it beforehand. But okay, is this going to Well, okay, go ahead.
Follow the money. This is a giant money grab.
Yes.
And there's going to be messaging about actions that were taken with that money grab. We'll find out more in the future. Center underneath is the Five of Swords, kind of the, winners and losers. To me, this is also going to be kickbacks is coming to mind. Five of Swords, this is DeSantis wanting to get more money. I get the the Empress, the High Priestess. There's going to be secrets revealed, and with the Nine of Wands, prison guards. I think what's going to happen is the prison guards are going to reveal what they see occurring on here. It's almost like Gary was talking about concentration camps. It's just like it's going to be a repeat of that. If the prison guards abuse or don't stop the abuse of the people there, they're going to be hunted down just like the guards at the concentration camps were. So you're better off. I get the feeling that prison guards at these places, it's going to go up. They will put people in there. There'll be a lot of money made. Trump is going to get kickbacks on this, because why put them there when you got the same thing you were setting up in Texas, unless you get a better deal? And there's just going to be a lot of corruption that's revealed by, I'm assuming, the folks that work there as guards as they try to save their asses. I don't like this. I really, really do. I have been ignoring this story. I do not like this at all. And I think the other thing about Alligator Auschwitz is what they put some MAGA hats on some alligators and said that they would act as guards to prevent people from escaping or something like that. It's just like, God, everything's optics, and I'm sure that absolutely appealed to the racists out there. Yeah, get them gators, eat them brown people.
Exactly. I think I agree with you, because it is about the money. I get the levers, the planning, the working on how this is, how we're going to make this successful. And there are there are plans in place in terms of the three of coins. How do we benefit by this? How do we monetize it? There, I get the magician again in terms of trying to make this seem like it's something that it's not. I too get the high priestess in terms of the secrets being revealed, and I do think that yes, it probably will come from either guards or people who are on the periphery who are going to start to document things, and that's where we're going to get that information. But yeah, ultimately the 10 of coins, it's about how do we profit by this? Do we profit by keeping these people here and using them as slave labor, versus how much is it going to cost us to deport them? Right? Yeah, it's not nice. Yes, for those of you who have said cruelty is the point, yes, cruelty is the point. That's just it.
It seems like they're going with the whole fear factor. Oh, if we catch you, you're going here, so you better deport yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So my reading's interesting. It's almost like, what becomes of this? What is the consequence of it?
Yes.
I start with the Queen of Pentacles, and what drew me to the card was the color of her cape, which looks a lot like an alligator skin.
Yes.
And it's just like, you should be taking care of these people, should be cared for, not being fed to alligators.
Yes.
This is going to hang on Trump. This is 100% Trump owned and operated. People are going to start thinking about their decisions in the future, or these actions in the future. And I'm getting more of the major arcana that this, in Trump's mind, this is a show of strength. But it's also, what strikes me on this card is, you could be strong and be kind. You don't have to overpower everything in order to show strength. But at the end of the day, you've got justice is going to come because the truth is going to come to light.
Yes.
So ironically, like Dave, I haven't read so much about it. As soon as I saw Alligator Alcatraz, it's just like, nope, I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Looking at these cards and just feeling like I'm feeling, this may be one of those things that actually gets people to stop and think. Is this a bridge? This may actually be a bridge too far.
Yes.
Because the parallels to Auschwitz, the parallels to the Gestapo, they're becoming more and more apparent. And at some point, even the most diehard MAGA person's got to say, well, yeah, I kind of see the parallels. They may still support it, but they can't deny that that it's blindness. I never saw that. I never saw that parallel. I think it's going to become more and more obvious to people.
Yeah, that's just it for those people who are going to be involved in this and think that, well, at the end of the day, all I have to say is, well, I was just following orders. Right. Remember, it didn't work with Nazi Germany. It's not going to work.
Rita Bartley has an interesting comment. She remembered a term from an old episode of Law and Order: depraved indifference.
Yes.
Yeah, that's basically, well, it didn't impact me, so I don't care. That would be the example of what depraved indifference is. Exactly. The working definition. Yeah, they threw a bunch of brown people and fed them to alligators. Well, sucks to be them.
Yeah. And the suspending voting was in just the one city.
Miami.
Right? Miami.
Yeah, Miami. They suspended voting for a year. So what the pitch was that they would delay the voting for a year, so it's on the 2-year cycle. So it's 2026, 2028 type voting. So it's on the normal election cycle. Probably saves them money because they don't have to print up ballots because it's an off year, and that more people would be likely to vote. That is being rejected by the candidates that want to go in there and oust the incumbents.
Exactly.
Who I think one of them is terming out, but this is giving this person an extra year or something like that. I didn't read too deeply on it, just enough to understand it wasn't the whole state of Florida. It was just Miami, and it was just a 1-year delay of the election, not suspending elections permanently in the state of Florida, which the person in the comments was intimating was happening.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, check the information that you're getting. This was Miami, not the whole state of Florida. So, yeah, exactly. Be careful. Just be careful before you're before you want to spread the news that you've heard. Make sure that what you are sharing with others is factual, because that's what they want. They want everyone to be to spread as much information as they can, because that's what keeps you in that fight or flight mode. That's what keeps you like, oh God, the sky is falling down.
And to Rose Blue, to your comment, it's not legal. They're suing. There's a lawsuit in place because basically only the voters can vote to delay an election, and you can't just make a decision on it. So it's going to go to the courts, and we'll see what the courts say.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And Raymond, very good. Hell is empty. All the devils are here, according to Shakespeare. Interesting. But you know what? We're absolutely going to get through all this. We will. It's unpleasant that we have to go through it. And why do I have to join in the parade so that some asshole can learn a lesson? I'm not exactly thrilled about that, but we are going to get through this. There you go. And thank you to each and every one of you. We're at 463. I think at one point we were a little higher.
Oh, wow.
So thank you for being here. Thank you for those of you who have given donations. It is very, very humbly received, and I hope that it will be returned to you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and make sure that you do the same thing on Gary and David's channel and David's channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary
David and David.
Yeah, Gary needs beer money. And
Yes.
David is going to be doing holidays, and so he needs holiday money. So
all the monies.
yes, absolutely. I want all of it. And thank you to all of you for being here. And guys, you know how much I look forward to this.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Thanks, Marina.
Yes, thank you, Marina.
Absolutely. All right, take care all, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye for now.
Good night. Bye now.